Hi everyone, this is my inquiry project for Education 8P16, and my name is Samantha Fisk, and I'm excited to share with you all that I've learned and all that I've experienced while at my block placement. So I had the opportunity to work with a class of grade 6s, and they were amazing, and they completely changed my career path and the grade that I thought I wanted to teach and how I even thought I would approach teaching, and it was a wonderful experience. I grew a lot as an educator, but I think also just as a person. The amount of learning and knowledge that I gained from them was just as much as I hopefully provided them with. I had the opportunity to teach a space science unit, and I was able to just see the passion and the interest and the dedication. It was so easy to create a curriculum with inquiry-based projects and like diagnostic assessments that were fun because they were just so involved and so excited to get going. My main goal for this inquiry project when I was doing my observation in my grade 6 classes was to create an inclusive classroom where students feel respected, they feel represented, and they feel accepted. That's really what I wanted to see, and I wasn't really seeing that in the class. I had a student who was in for integration, and he didn't really have a place. He was half in that class and half in that class for the day, and he didn't really have a group or a place that he felt like he belonged. I had students with behavioral issues and students with IEPs kind of off to the side in the classroom, so the physical layout wasn't what I wanted it to be. And so I realized really quickly that these were changes that I needed to do, and I needed to co-create strategies with my associate teacher to kind of combat this. So I set out and I tried to think of all these ways that I could do it, and the first thing that I implemented was healthy relationships, kind of lesson focuses, mental health focuses. My micro teaching, I really focused on appreciation and respect, and what does that mean? And from my micro teaching, I took student feedback, and we were able to co-create an appreciation box. So what we would do is there was little appreciation cards, and you could fill in an appreciation card thanking someone for something that they did, and it could be as as big as helping me with my math and getting me to pass that math test, or opening that door, or sharing your pencil crayons, just something that we appreciate, the small things. And I would come in and I would read a quote of the day. I started that. We had our inspirational quote of the day every day that I would read, and we would discuss it and talk about what does it mean. And then I would go and I would pull 3 to 4, sometimes 5 of the appreciation slips, and we would read them, and we would say who it was from and who it was to, and then we would do the action of giving it to the student that they could then collect and keep. And just that initiative, I think it made kids really realize what appreciation does, how it makes you feel, how it makes others feel. I had some kids, they wanted to continue it into the new school year, and I'm really happy that my associate teacher decided to do that, because they loved it, and it was just great seeing their faces smile, and for them to be like, oh yeah, Jack, like, thanks, I'm so, like, I never knew you would have appreciated me for letting you sit on the stairs, or whatever it is in the classroom. So that just right there, I think, was the building blocks to me, building those healthy relationships with the kids and with each other. That's huge. So I continued this focus, and then I wanted to take a mental health focus, and so I implemented some lessons in language arts. We read this book called Virginia Woolf. If you have not read it, I would suggest reading it. It was amazing. There were so many cross-curricular links that I could do. We implemented art, and we ended up doing an art activity with something like that, and the goal was for the kids to have murals that they could hang in their home for when they were having these hard feelings or weren't feeling good about themselves. They could be reminded of all the things that made them happy and made them feel good about themselves, and that they were respected, and that they were cared for. And I had a lot of positive feedback from students. I was able to sit down with parents and hear that they were hung up in their classroom. So I really feel like I did make that impact on the students. I miss them dearly. I've already been back to visit them in the new year because I don't know, I was so used to seeing them every day that it's crazy that I wasn't anymore, and I miss them, and I promised them that I would. So I was able to come back and just see how different the classroom was from my first observation days all in September, and just to see that community, to see the student that was in for integration, all the work that I did with him, all the strategies that we did together, all the team building exercises, all of the, me staying in for my breaks and making sure that, he was caught up and that we were interacting with people and that we were playing games, and it was just crazy to see him being in the corner of the classroom too in January, being part of the group and just being right there and having those connections and just those relationships. It's just amazing to see. It's what I aim to see as a teacher. It's why I want to be a teacher. It was incredible, and they've impacted my heart so much. I'm so fortunate that I was able to have that opportunity to grow with them. So what I would do better for next block, I really, at the end of my block, I started to recognize how important classroom management is. And I know we say that and we talk about it all the time, but I really started to realize that, it is important that my lesson is taught, but maybe a lot of my focus should also be on how the classroom is being managed and those behaviors, and maybe me reflecting and thinking about what can I do to help this kid. If his behavior, so for example, I had a student, his behavior near the end of the day he's go a little nuts. He had ADHD, so he had a lot of energy. And usually at the end of the day, because he was really off task and was throwing balls or distracting people or talking, he would be asked to leave the class. And I sat here and I thought, well, a lot of my lessons and activities for space and science, which he loved, were at the end of the day. So how could I take away this kid from the classroom, from learning that he's passionate about and something that he's good at because of his behavior? So my associate and I, we sat down and we kind of discussed how we could do this, and we kind of suggested, well, he loves staying in and he loves helping us sweep the classroom. That's something that he always loves. Why don't we use that and make it productive? Why not, at the end of the day, when we see his behavior is getting big, he's getting off task, he's distracting his friends and he's distracting himself, why don't we give him a broom? Or give him something to do so he can still be in the classroom, he can still listen, he can still engage himself, but he has an outlet for that behavior. And just the change and the initiative that he started to take, the responsibility and the respect for the classroom once he had this role of, sixth period comes and I can feel my body doing this. I know I've recognized the signs. Oh, well, Miss Fiss said I can go sweep the classroom. And, he starts sweeping the classroom. And the kids, or the students, now see him in this role of, he's not the class clown. He's not distracting. He is being productive, and he's helping the community, and he's helping the classroom community. And it changes those dynamics in the classrooms like I never would have believed. And all of a sudden, I have so many kids asking if they can sweep the classroom because they want to help out, or what can they do? Can they help get the laptops out for me, or can they go down to the gym and get the equipment out? Just once you see that respect in the classroom and those examples of the respect, and you make those examples of respect, it just goes right through. They just learn it. So yeah, sorry, one last thing to share, I guess. What could I do for next semester to be better? I really enjoyed every single moment that I had with them, and next semester I just hope to kind of enjoy it more and take it for what it is, and take that responsibility, and not be, this is the big thing, not be afraid to fail. I was so afraid that my lessons wouldn't go well, and that I wouldn't, that just get through the lesson and you'll be okay. And when I did fail, my associate teacher, she kind of looked at me and she could tell I was feeling really discouraged. And I will always forget this advice. She said, it's better that you failed now and you failed early so you can learn how to pick yourself up than to have failed on the last day and to have never learned from it. And it sat with me for a few days until I was like, wow, that's so true. Like it's so true, right? Like you can't be afraid to fail, and you become better when you fail, right? You reflect and then you learn from it and your lessons become better and you grow as an educator. And that's my big takeaway, is don't be afraid to fail. And all in all, I really enjoyed my placement. I enjoyed being able to share about my placement. It's something that will be near and dear to my heart for the rest of my teaching journey, and I'm just so fortunate that I was able to have that experience. So thank you for listening, and thanks. Have a great day.